Welcome to Being Extra. Today I'm joined by Diego Davila. He's an actor, he's a model, and most importantly, he's a stuntman. How you doing, Diego?
I'm doing pretty good, but good. I can't complain. Staying safe. All good here.
That's good, man. It's crazy everything that's been happening. I saw that the film industry is starting back up little by little. Have you been training for any new projects or anything like that at the moment?
So far, I've actually just got into a Wing Chun class over at Worldwide Fitness Center, and then also keeping up with my wire work.
Mm-hmm.
Like so far to see if I could get into Red Notice, because the most recently that I heard on the post that Dwayne The Rock Johnson said, hey, we're gonna start Red Notice over in September.
Really?
Yes. I mean it's online, so I mean, who knows? But hoping it actually gets going, and then we'll actually get some work back together. But so far, yeah, like hoping the training with that, and then I mentioned the stunt coordinator for there, so he knows that I'm available. So let's see if anything happens from there.
Okay, mate. Well, a little thing about Red Notice, that was the last set I was on before the whole quarantine started. Yeah.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, that's the set you were on?
Same one, correct, yeah.
That was the one before we got all the email and the call saying we're not coming back for 2 weeks at first.
They canceled the whole thing. I was there for like at least 3 days until like the last day they announced it, like, hey, we're not gonna film today. We're just gonna, keep it safe for like the next, well, yeah, like you said, like around 2 weeks or so.
Right.
And here we are. A couple months later.
Here we are reminiscing on the good old days, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's all we can do right now on the inside.
That's true, man. That's true. But well, because some people that listen to this podcast, they're not like film industry workers. I want you to explain to them what a stuntman does.
Absolutely. So, so what a stuntman does is that we take care of the actor as well as anybody's working with us on set. So we mostly take care of any dangerous stunts, and we try to make the actor look good.
That's good. Yeah, except Tom Cruise, he doesn't need one. He's the only one.
He don't need one. He's his own.
He's his own stunt guy. He doesn't need.
Guy. Exactly.
Oh man, well, for you, man, Diego, I want to go back to the beginning, where it all started for you. I want to ask you before we get into like the stunt work you've done, because you are the first stuntman that we interview on the show.
For real?
Yeah, I mean, I've interviewed PAs, grips, directors, but you're the first stuntman, so I'm excited for this. But before we get into all that, I just want to ask you, where did it all start for you? Like, did you start as an extra, as a stand-in, or did you like go straight into classes to be a stuntman, or tell us about that?
So, well, first I didn't know I was gonna be a stuntman till like at least when I got to 20, because right after college, I was like, well, what am I gonna do? Like I finished college, and then I thought going into, because I went into for baking and pastry. Right. Okay. So then from there, I started looking for more of that. And then I was like, you know what? I want to do more. What else can I do? Mm-hmm. And then because I did parkour and free running for most of my life.
Okay.
And then I wanted to get paid doing it. So I was like, what's a good flexible place that I could go to, and so I could do what I love. So and then I started doing some research about stunts and see if anything in that way. So it came up as the stunt school in Seattle. So ISS, International Stunt School.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that makes sense. Yeah. So, um, so then I worked for like 2 years straight. I gathered savings to go make the trip to Seattle, and I went to stunt school. Learned, like, I went for like a whole month and like a couple of weeks just full of training.
Wow.
I had an amazing I had an amazing experience. Um, and then from there, you met people. Of course, like now, I know more about making connections and like knowing, like who's who and like trying to get some work. So from there, I did some short films that I met or that I met people from there, and they wanted to do some short films. So I was like, absolutely, I'll get to it. So I did that, and then I had a colleague of mine actually went to is here in Atlanta, and he's the first one that told me about it. Like, hey, there's gonna be a lot of movies coming up in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
You should probably move in, anytime soon. So I was like, absolutely, count me in. And then I heard about extra work.
Right.
And then from there, oh man, the shows and sign-ins went up. The connections happened. So first, of course, I went to Central Casting. That was the first one that I got to be here in. No, actually,
Mm-hmm.
it was a year before that I moved to Atlanta, because I was in Virginia at the time.
Okay.
And then I had a friend of mine, and she knew that I did, or that I wanted to do shows and stuff. So she said, hey, they're filming Homeland over in Virginia. So I was like, really? Okay, cool. I mean, I never heard of the show, but I would love to be in it. And so she sent me the link and well, used to be like an extra and stuff. So I was like, all right, I sent my email, did the whole thing.
Yeah.
So that was my very first time being on set as an extra. And then
In Virginia.
In Virginia, correct.
Okay.
Yeah, Virginia would be like my first one. It turns out that was actually my first time being like in front of camera. They actually got to work with the actor. I was technical support. So I had like the lab code and everything. I had to fill in like my whole computer stuff. So of course the camera went right at my face, and then it went to the actor. I was like, oh wow, that was cool.
Oh, wow.
First day and I'm already in front of the camera. That's awesome. I mean, of course I didn't know what was going on, but every extra that was with me was like cheering me on and saying, yo, you did an awesome job for being, first day and you get in front of
You did it. You made it.
Exactly. I was like, well, this is awesome. Like, what else can I do? So that was my first one. And then of course in Atlanta, that's when I kept going, like doing extra work. And people somehow go hard on extras, which I get. But they said like not to do it too much. But for a stunt performer, I mean, we have other ways to, to like make connections. But for someone that's like new and doesn't know, like which way to go in like the film industry, I thought, like being an extra or keep doing that gives me a step forward on set, so I could talk to the stunt coordinator, and that's how we get work. So for stunt performers, we will go on set. We'll have our resume, our headshots ready, and then we will talk to the stunt coordinator for like a minute or two. We had to be very, very quick on when we talk to the stunt coordinators. So we had to, of course, say our names, give them our resume, or if or if they're okay with it, they will give you their email so you can message them their or you can message them your own resume and headshots.
And what about a reel? Did you need to submit a reel too, or no?
Correct. Yes, they. That's what I meant. Like if they, like if you offer them like, hey, can I have the or your email so I can send you my reel, or you could also have like a little card. Um, but you could give them your business card, and on that business card, you gotta have, of course, your email, maybe your measurements in the back, something that they can look you up on.
Right.
And then from there, they'll look at your reel, any information that you have, any experience, and of course they'll look at your IMDb, see what else credits that you have.
Oh man, that's crazy. That's a crazy process. I had no idea. So you were pretty much ready to go to move wherever they were filming, right?
Yeah. Which was really good. I'm really thankful that my family and friends were able to help me out with it. I mean, as soon as I heard about Atlanta, I was like, well, let me pack up right now, and I guess I'm heading to Atlanta.
Like that, right?
Yeah, just like that. And my parents were like, all right, if you need help, let us know. We're only like, I mean, they actually moved closer now, so they're only like 5 hours away, so I could just go back and forth and visit them.
That's good, man. And did Atlanta meet your expectations when you first moved here, like film industry wise, or was it like a slow start?
It passed my expectations. I like as soon as I got here, I thought, because I hear a lot about LA and I know how like cutthroat they are and how competitive it is. So
Yeah.
I thought Atlanta was gonna be the same thing, but no. Like when I got like my first gig, um, I was like, well, of course, I was nervous. I was like, okay, what do I expect? Of course, be professional, courteous, be nice, and everything like that. Um, and then so I was expecting, like some type of like edge or like competitiveness like to it, but everybody was actually like nice. They actually told me places that I could go, like here in Atlanta, like, hey, go to this place. They have stunt classes. They have for wire work this way, for swimming that way. They welcomed me here really, really well.
That's awesome, man. That I'm glad. Yeah, I'm glad that people, yeah, because this is a new film industry. I mean, it's been going for it's about to be 10 years now since it started getting big, but it's been getting, yeah, it's very friendly people. When it started in 2013, everybody told me where to sign up, what to do, who to talk to, and yeah, it's been very friendly. It's not very cutthroat because one of the last people I interviewed, he told me he went 3 months to LA as a costume PA, and that the parents of the kids that want to be actors, they're like mean. They're like, put my son in front of the camera. They're like fighting for their kids' camera times. It's very cutthroat, like you said. It's crazy, man. But dude, I'm glad you settled here. I'm glad you enjoyed it here. And then, have you gotten into like work outside of Georgia, or just so far in Georgia?
So far, I stayed in Georgia, but I did hear about South Carolina, Florida, of course, and Tennessee.
Okay.
I haven't worked there yet, but I have like the info. Like if I like decided to like make the travel to go to those places, I would have the info for it.
That's good, man. And I see that you're growing your like resume, your reel. I've seen your pictures on Facebook. They are cool, man. The one of you on fire.
Yo, yeah, that was good. That was that was, yeah. Well, there's two, because my first fire burn was in stunt school, of course, back
Right.
in like 2016,
Right.
and then like 2 years later, I did another fire burn over in Canada, Saskatoon.
Really?
There it was so like if you did like the first stunts class, before you could you could go to this one, and like this one is just like another stunt workshop, and it's amazing.
Wow.
Canada people, man, major props to you guys. They do like so much work, and they're really nice, really welcoming to like other people as well. loved
Oh,
it.
that's
We'll
good,
also
man.
go there again.
That's good. Yeah, I heard about the Canadian film industry and everything up there. I heard it's very good, which is actually where they shot the first Suicide Squad. And I saw that you told me that you worked on the second one, right?
And the second one, right, the one here.
Yeah, we can't talk about that. I worked on it too for about a month. We can't talk about it yet, but I loved it, man.
It was awesome. We actually got a whole bunch of days in Suicide Squad. It was amazing. I hear a lot that about the stories that happened there, which I won't tell you yet because of course
Right. Man, hopefully, I want to have like a Suicide Squad episode. Hopefully, I could have you back for that, man.
Absolutely, yeah. Let me know and I'll make it happen.
Awesome, dude. Yeah, but that's good, man. I'm glad. Well, before we move on, where can people follow you at?
Good question. Let me look because I'm still relatively new. I'm putting my stuff out there. So in Instagram, you could look for me at Diego.Dr23. And on Facebook is my full name, so but then it will go Diego Davila-Rivera. And then you'll see me. I'll always have like those 3 pictures of me as the profile picture.
And I'll put the link down below, guys. So you go follow him, check him out. He's got some awesome pictures.
That's great. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you. Also, I gotta give a huge shout out to Kinder. She the one that took a lot of my pictures these past few months. She does an amazing job, man.
Really?
Absolutely. She has a page called Capture the Soul on Instagram, but when you guys go to my page, you also look at her page right over there.
Yeah, I'll add her on too. I'll put her on the bottom as well. That's good, man. Good shout out.
If you need headshots, anything like that, she also does stunts and is a great like precision driver.
Oh wow. Have you done precision driving?
I have, yes. I'm not the best at it for sure. I just like since I'm still new, I rather keep it on a low. Since but I can. It's a lot of fun. It's pretty cool.
Well, let me tell you, man. Me as an extra, I've been. What's the word? Like, we've as extras have to do precision driving sometimes, but they don't put it as precision driving.
No, they just say like car number 2. I don't know what they usually or not even, but they'll just
We don't get the precision driving pay. Is that because we're not union, it's a right to work state, so that's like one thing that I've experienced, and it's not horrible. I don't mind being in my car, especially on a cold day. Yeah, but there's some times that I forgot what movie it was on. They made me do precision driving, but I thought I was just driving, and some guy was like, "Oh, I'm from LA. This shouldn't be allowed. We should get paid." I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, I don't know what's going on.
See, that's what I'm saying. LA has their own rule. It's crazy on that. Like, if you get booked as a precision driver, you'll get paid even more. Well, but like per se over there. But if you here, of course, extra work is kind of different. Yeah.
Correct. No, even the extras are union over there, so it is very different.
Yeah, I heard that. That's insane.
It's insane. I mean, I want to try it out just to experience being an LA extra, just to say I did it. But
so, like, what else did you do as a precision driver? Did you do any like maneuvering, or just follow what you gotta?
no, I mean, we did have to do. Okay, so it was funny. It was like some wreckage like on the street, and we had to drive around the wreck.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say what it is on. I don't want to be fired, or I don't want to be, like not hired ever again. But I just remembered. I was like, okay, we did it back. We went in a circle, went around the things, and one of the guys was just like, hey, this is, we should get paid more. Like, we're getting paid the extra rate. But yeah, that's when I started, and I didn't know, and they were pretty much, like taking advantage of the Georgia, there was no union, nothing.
Yeah, because it's very new. Yep.
It's still very new. You know, LA has been going on forever. But are you part of the union?
I am, yeah, I am SAG. Yes, correct. I mean, for most stunt performers, is it's pretty much like a requirement. Um, Now, unless if a stunt coordinator hires you and then he taps partly you, at that point, then you can work, like for that day. But usually, they would want to hire somebody that's already SAG.
Got you. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, yeah. I didn't know too much about the unions with the stunt people, but it is SAG.
Gotcha. Correct. Yeah, yeah, yeah. SAG AFTRA, because since we're like still actors in a way, but in like movement, I get or
Got you. More dangerous movement. That's true.
way more dangerous movement. You're right.
Oh man. Well, I want to ask you, how acrobatic do you have to be into stunts? You know, like very acrobatic, or you told me you did parkour, so you already kind of had a background, right?
Yeah, yeah. So not really. You don't have to be really like really acrobatic. You need to be at least fit enough to, like, for example, like if a coordinator tells you, "Hey, I need you to do this fall on set," like into a mud or something, or into rocks. You you gotta have the stamina to do that one fall at least 20 times or even more, depending on like the director or any else that might have messed up. Um, but I would like still recommend to to just keep fit. You don't have to be like the best in the world. I mean, I'm not the best in the world. I just do parkour, do basic martial arts. Of course, I know like the rest of like the stunt falls, high falls, fire.
Right.
Um, but usually, yeah, I would say just as long as you're fit and able to take a hit. But usually we will have pads, like to be ready for a fall and be ready to do that around 20 times. You'll be sore either way, but at least it'll save you some more like sore or even further injury.
Right, right. And yeah, every stunt person I've ever seen is super fit, dude.
Yeah, yeah. As I'm saying, like as long as you're fit and able to, like run, jog, just simple stuff. Let's see, but like the basic three that I would say, if you if you can, um, well, if you can fight and fall, and sometimes even flip. If like if you can flip or fall, fantastic. And if you have any background experience, for like soldier, cop, definitely works. But yeah, as long as you're fit, yeah, you don't, yeah, you're good to go.
That's good, man. Well, before we get into more stunt work that you've done, I want to talk a little bit about some extra and stand-in work that you've done. I see that you stood in on The Resident. Is that correct?
Yeah, and the rest, and that was actually one of my first extra work when I moved to Atlanta.
Really?
Yeah, I got to be an extra on the Resident for quite a bit. Yeah, because they actually like try to keep like the good usual doctors, nurses.
Right, right.
Uh, yeah. So I usually do those for a while, and then of course they like change up every few weeks or so. But that was, yeah, my first few like extra. I got most of my information from there because of course, like I said, a lot of extras are actually pretty nice. Like when you
Gotcha.
when you ask a question, they're like, "Oh, I got you." They actually give you a whole list on your phone, or I guess on their phone,
Right, right.
to like to other agencies, like acting classes. Like, I'm like, are you serious? I better bring a pen and pencil next time. So, and it was a great experience. I would love to, of course, like go go there more often, of course. And then of course I went. Um, let's see. Well, of course, like a couple months passed, and then uh, the agency knew me, and then they started booking me for what was it, stand-in work.
Right, right. Was that your first stand-in?
No, let's see. What was my first stand? My first stand-in was in Raising Dion was my
Okay.
first stand-in. that was cool. That was only like a day gig, but it was pretty cool.
But still getting that first standing is cool. I know what you mean, man. I'm still waiting for Ray Romano to come do something in town so I could stand in for him, man.
Absolutely, yo, I can see you like that. Absolutely.
I always get that. I'm like, hey, and he never comes here. I'm like,
dang, man, you gotta let him. Yeah, you gotta let him know. Like, hey, you want to make a movie over in Atlanta? It's big.
Hey, I got you. I got you. You know, like the people who have their permanent stand-ins, like The Rock and Robert Downey Jr. and Woody Harrelson, they have people that travel with them because it's just the only people that.
I met Dwayne's like stand-in. He's a cool guy too. He's a great guy to like be with on set. And yeah, like they told him to travel to Hawaii, travel to New York. Yeah. I was like, are you serious? That's amazing.
We're going over here to Atlanta. Oh man, well that's a good segue because I saw you stood in on Titan Games. That's correct?
Yes, that's where I met him actually. It was I was standing in for one of the commentators. Forgot his first name, but it's Golden Boy Mendez.
Golden Boy, yes.
Yeah, Golden Boy. So I stood in for him for like 2 weeks or so, 2, 3 maybe. Yeah. No, that was awesome because we started like from day one, and then of course like on the last day they actually filmed the whole thing really quickly.
Yeah, man. I worked on that. I was I was a audience member, but man.
Yeah. It was so like how did it go for you? Because I hear a lot of like stories here and there that what was it? They didn't let that it was like 3 people at a time to go out, having snacks or something like that.
Yeah, it was just really hard to get a bathroom break, and lunch was not good. So I got smart and I just started bringing my own lunch. But for the people that didn't know, they were like, "What is this?" Like they didn't like the box sandwich, and I'm okay. I'm not picky, but yeah, I mean that was it. We were sitting on our asses for like 12 hours. It was a bit rough, man, but seeing the competition was worth it. Oh my God, that was an awesome competition.
Amazing. I can't even like. And I was I was there. I was trying to watch the whole thing. There was so many close calls. And it's actually on Hulu. For those who like don't know, it's on Hulu. You can watch the seasons.
Right.
There's still a couple episodes left, but it's coming, and it's on Hulu, so you can watch. There's so many like I said, like there's so many close calls.
Right.
And like I heard, and like I mean. I heard a lot of people say like, "Hey, is that like legit? Like competition? Is it rigged?" I'm like, "No,
it's not rigged."
They go hard on these obstacles, and they make sure it's like as equal to everyone, because these people come from, of course, everywhere, and most of them are. I mean, they're not huge. I mean, they're not like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson huge, but they're like fit. They come with a strong background. And if you hear, let's see, if you ever get to watch this, there's 2 brothers.
Oh man, that was my favorite. That was if people haven't watched it, I'm not gonna spoil it, but that was one of my favorite competition between the brothers. Oh my God,
great competition. If you want to see a good matchup, watch that one right there.
They're like equal. They're like the same person, literally like a copy.
So many times, but it was a great matchup. It was a great experience, like I said. And then of course they brought in, Dwayne brought in, of course, his elite.
Right. Right.
He wasn't messing around with that. They're like, no, I'm bringing in like tough people out of each.
Yeah, his Titans, his own Titans.
Yeah, his own Titans. It's insane. I loved it.
Dude, one of the Titans, he was as big as The Rock.
Dwayne, yes.
You know who I'm talking about, right?
Name.
Joe Thomas.
Joe Thomas, right? That's right. Yeah.
Oh my God, he was big, and he was bigger when he played football. He got lean. Yeah, he was bigger.
Gotcha. Yeah.
When he played football for the Browns, Man, he was bigger, but he's still huge. I'm like, oh, he's a beast.
No, he's still out there getting some weight. He getting out there, man.
Oh my God.
That's pretty awesome.
What did you think about that set? Because before you tell me, I just want to say on my part, it was one of the most amazing sets I've ever seen.
Yeah. Let's see. While I was sending it was good. Let's see. It was great seeing, I guess, like the process on a game show, because that was actually my first stand-in in a game show.
Right.
So I always wonder, like, how does everything work? How do people do it? And they put in so much work. Like every day, people come in at 6 a.m. to set up the obstacles, light, camera, everything.
Right.
We gotta give major props to the people behind camera.
Yes.
Crew, they do so much. It's crazy. So like that's what I've been watching like every morning when I had to come in. And that people are, you know, like pushing the obstacle thing, changing it, making it safe,
Right.
and trying out so everything will be equal. And it was good that I got to, of course, like meet Golden Boy Mendez.
Yeah.
It was awesome. We both got to like speak Spanish for a bit.
That's awesome. That's always awesome.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like he knows his Spanish as well. So I was like, yo, so no, cause one time I was wearing a Puerto Rico shirt, and then he's like, yo, Boricua, so he knew exactly from there, and then we went off from there. It was great.
That's awesome, man. Well, and last question on Titan Games. You being a stuntman, do you think you could do one of the courses, one of the...
Man, that's a good question. I mean, I'll be great on the agility part.
Agility. Okay.
Anything that I can climb, sort of move around a little bit,
Got you.
I'll be breeze. I got this, no problem. Until I get to like the heavier types, because that's the whole point of the obstacle. Dwayne said it himself, like he made this obstacle not just for bodybuilders, but anybody, shape or form, you know, of background.
Right, and it was based on his own workouts, right?
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, on his own workout, he has his own thing. That's why he put each of these himself, and of course, it went off. It was great. I wouldn't do any good for the you know, like the strength obstacles. That would be tough for me.
Right.
For sure.
Oh yeah, man, I was looking at those things and I was getting exhausted. I'm just like, nah. Like,
Really?
yeah, I mean, like,
You think you can do it?
nah, man, no way. Some of those heavy lifting things, because you gotta have agility. You gotta like breathe right so you're not like tired out. And then you gotta do some heavy lifting, man. It's crazy. All right, man. Well, I'm gonna move on from that, and I'm gonna talk about you were on one a zombie movie and one a zombie show.
Yeah.
So first, let's talk about the zombie movie, Zombieland. Is that correct?
Zombieland, correct? Yeah, that was awesome.
The first one or the second one?
No, the second one, the one that just came out, Double Tap.
Double Tap. Okay, yeah, good. Just wanted to make sure. Okay, yeah, I love that movie, man. I love that movie. I interviewed my friend Kevin Montgomery, who was standing on that. He got pictures with all the crew, and I also interviewed somebody who was, one of the live people. But you were a zombie, right?
I was a zombie, correct? Yes.
Awesome, because I wanted to know what it was like on the other side of things, not being alive. How was it like being a zombie on that?
Dude, I mean, it was different compared to The Walking Dead, which that was the other show that I did. But it was different from The Walking Dead because they said because most of the time we were running full speed. I'm talking about like full speed, like, and with everybody around you, of course, making noises, and like you had to be very like animated. Everything's wild. So
you were a T-800 zombie? T-800?
yeah.
Oh.
So they like blooding me up. It was nasty. It was great. Let's see. Well, I was there for like at least 4 days. Most of the time, that's all we did. We had like a huge group of zombies, and then we of course had to like run a certain direction full speed, and then sometimes, and then well, the movie's out, so I guess I could tell some part of it. Like when well, it was nighttime, so when they let's see, when they drifted a car like in a narrow it was like a small trail, like they drifted a car like from 180 to like the other side, and yeah, we had to like run full speed after that, and like another car that they have. Now that was tiring. Now this also brings me back to like you had to be fit, because this is exactly what I mean. We had to run more than 15 times because it was more than one take, different angles.
Was it cold?
It was a little bit chilly. It wasn't like super cold, but like well, it was cold in the beginning. Of course, like when we get there, we're all cold. We haven't even warmed up. But like midway of running full speed, like for a couple takes.
Right.
Oh man, we got warmed up quick. We're like, all right, we gotta run again. Like, when's the next take? Hurry up, let's do it. Let's get it going. Because as soon as we stopped running, we were like the cold is like closing in.
Right. Like, let's keep going. Come on, reset.
Like reset quicker. So that was mostly what we did. We just ran full speed. Man, we were tired. Thank God that like crew came in with like huge, not buckets. What they call, like a whole bunch of like water.
Oh, okay.
Thing. Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Well, so you were there for 4 days, just running every day?
Yep, running every day. We did most of them were overnights as well. So we had to come in like 6 p.m. We didn't get out till 6 a.m. Of course, because of the sun came up.
Yeah, the night shooting. Correct.
Yep. A whole night shooting for 4 days.
Oof.
It was awesome. It was. I mean, well, no, that wasn't my first time in a movie, but it was good to like get to know, like, well, I guess in any set, like when you go to like a new set, you want to like, like check out who's who, or which friends are in the same movie as you are. So you're like, okay, who's here? What can I get him at? Because that's what we do.
That's true. Once you get there, you're already looking for your crowd, your people.
Yeah, you're like little group, like, has it been? I haven't seen you since like what, The Resident? This has been long.
It's like the show Extras. I don't know if you've ever heard about it.
I saw a clip on YouTube. I don't know if it's like the same one.
With Ricky Gervais, the English one. I don't know if that's the one you're talking about.
I think so. I know it was on YouTube, but I haven't like checked the whole thing out. Is that like when I saw it, I was like, that's super accurate, actually. Like, holy cow, people, that's exactly us every other day on being an extra. It's amazing.
Exactly, man. And somebody did make a movie. I have not seen it. Somebody made a movie about extras in Atlanta. It's called The E-Listers.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to go watch it.
I haven't seen it either. I want to watch it though, because it's gonna be pretty much all of our lives up there, seeing how it is every time we go on set as extras. But I'm pretty sure you get a little better treatment as a stuntman, right?
Yeah, I mean, there they get everything for you. They which is cool. I mean, when you get there, you sign in. Of course, they and they take you to your trailer, and then from there they'll take you. They'll give you your get up.
Yeah, wardrobe.
Yeah, exactly, wardrobe. And then from there, they'll tell you either to wait there until being called, and then and of course they'll send you the makeup if you need makeup, and then from there they'll take you to set, and then they'll have your little tent. So it's about the same thing, only that of course we get trailers and stuff.
That's true.
And crew food, but.
Oh yes, crew food. I haven't even talked about that yet, but I'll talk about that on another episode. The difference between crew and extra food. Sometimes it's big. It's a big difference.
It's a big difference.
And the snacks. Oh my God, the snacks.
Snacks. You have to tell you about snacks now. That's
I mean, even coffee, which is almost like essential. When you don't get coffee, it's like, oh man.
yeah. I mean, coffee is a maybe. I mean, some sets like do give you coffee, but that's like a couple hours after like they set up everything up, and then they'll give you coffee.
And that's a maybe, like you said.
That's a maybe. That's a maybe in every set.
Yeah, and then, well, now that with COVID, I feel like snacks and food are not gonna be the same because they're gonna pretty much be serving everything like box lunches and snacks. I don't know if they're gonna let everybody their hands on the snacks. You get me?
You're right. You're right. Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's a good thought.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. I'm gonna be working on a movie soon as a crew member, so hopefully I'll put my thoughts about it. But we'll see how the.
Yeah. Best wishes to you. Yeah.
Thank you, man. Hopefully the snack situation's good. We'll see. All right, man. Well, the last thing I want to talk about before we finish is Big Show. Big Show. Pretty much, I'm gonna say it wasn't the first thing that filmed in Georgia, but it was pretty much what helped bring the film industry here. And is The Walking Dead, man. And pretty much everybody I met has been on it at least once. It's like a rite of passage almost, and
Yeah.
yeah, and I've been on it dead, alive. I've been shot. I've come back. So before we get to the stunt part, you did stand-in for Ezekiel. Is that right?
Ezekiel. Yeah. That was just for a day. Because I was doing extra work like like the normal day, and then the AD came into our area, started looking for people. And of course they're like, Diego, come on, you're like the same height. I'm like, same height for who? And he's like Ezekiel. I'm like, oh cool. Am I? And then he say, oh, you're standing in. I'm like, all right, cool. Let's go.
That's all. And you have the look, man. You have the look. I thought you would have been his like permanent stand-in, dude.
Yeah. No, same here. I actually had the beard over there too, so it's like perfect. Because I know sometimes when you're in The Walking Dead, you sort of have to shave because of the mask and any prosthetics.
Yes.
That's true, man. Well, yeah, that's cool that you did Ezekiel. That was actually the biggest part of The Walking Dead I ever did, Kingdom. Yeah, so that was the biggest part I ever did. So I'm like, did I see him around? So I guess it was for a day. So
Yeah. We Survivor.
I was Savior in a Kingdom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I was shot, killed, came as a zombie, came back as a Kingdom. They never noticed.
It's like you came back for a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Hey, you've been through a lot, man.
I went through a lot emotionally, man.
I bet. After all that, shoot.
But yeah, it was my game plan. I always go deep background so they wouldn't see me, die. So yeah, it was great, man.
Yeah, that's all you gotta do. You gotta stay away from camera, really.
Were you a fan of The Walking Dead before you worked on it?
I only heard of it until I started working on it. I knew it was like a big deal. So as soon as I knew that they were filming here, I'm like, wait, where? How can I do this and that? So I started like submitting it. It's like, yo, get me in there. And they usually submit for tall and slim. I'm like super skinny. So then I went for it, and then they started like booking me for zombie, and then from zombie to whisper, from whisper. I actually never did a survivor. I never survived. I was always dead. And then from there, of course, I doubled Avi Nash back in season 9 or 10, either one of those. Yeah.
That's awesome, man. Do you prefer being on The Walking Dead specifically, alive or dead?
I would say dead, just because it's easier to act, if that makes sense. I'm better at like body movement acting. if that makes sense.
Yes.
Uh, uh, and that's where I feel more comfortable. As soon as I wear, like a mask,
Yeah.
that's it. I go into zombie mode, and then from there I'll act my way because it's feel more comfortable for me to do zombie than doing like a survivor.
Right. And did they teach you how to be a zombie, or you already kind of knew?
They when I first did The Walking Dead, they actually asked like the whole extra room, like, hey, who has never been a zombie, this and that. And I mean, I watched the show a little bit,
Right.
so I know that they're slow. That's all I knew. But then from there, they told me, or they told us like that it's like slow, gotta have like this and that, chin down. And then they said go into variety, be creative. Maybe this one has like a messed up ankle. Maybe your elbow goes the other way.
Right.
So there's varieties with it. Somebody has a limp. Any of those type of things. But as long as it's slow and sort of like menacing in a way, then it worked.
Oh man, those have been some of the hottest days of my life.
Bro.
Oh.
That was actually what I heard too after my first time working there. That I keep hearing the story on like how hot it is and
Right.
the places that they take you. I mean, it's not too crazy. I mean, for those to hear that it's not that crazy. I mean, you'll get into the forest. You got some high grass. You go through that.
Yeah.
But they take care of you. They always bring like some bug spray,
Water, everything. Yeah.
They always. So I guess it depends on how you take the set. Me, I loved it. It was great. I got to cover my face. I didn't have to do a lot of facial acting, just movement, which is the easiest thing.
Right.
Or it's comfortable for me. So let's see what else. But you're right. It was hot. As soon as you take your mask off, whoosh, just
Right.
full of sweat. Just full of sweat. But you get a good breeze out of it, of course.
Yeah.
Man, those times, man, you get a lot of good stuff.
Did you wear the full mask or the half mask?
Both.
Oh.
Some days I had to wear the half mask, but most days I wear the full mask.
Oh.
That's the tough one, man.
Yeah, no, because the agency asked you first, like, hey, are you okay with like full prosthetic or something like that? And then I was like, yeah, I'm absolutely, give me full mask, I don't mind, I'll do it. And it was, and yeah, you're right, it was intense. It was like one of the hottest times, but at least one of the ADs, Roger, he's probably one of the best ADs I've ever worked with, really.
Yeah.
If you met him, right, Roger? It's like the mustache.
Yes.
That dude's amazing.
Yeah,
He'll
he's
come and check up on everybody. He don't, I mean, it don't matter who's who. He'll treat everyone equally. He'll even
That's
give
right.
you water. He'll get you water if you're like somewhere in like the forest. He'll get you water if you need it. He's awesome, man. I would love to work with him again on The Walking Dead.
That's good, man. Yeah. It gets hot, but it's not so much because of the mask. It's the Georgia weather sometimes. It's just that humidity. Yeah, and sometimes you get those July, summer, humid days, and it's like there's nothing you can do. You just gotta walk, you gotta work. There's not much to it. Literally, like walk, push through it.
Exactly, literally, because you have to go through it. It's just one of those things that you have to be careful too. Because if you want to work at The Walking Dead, you got to be careful if you're vulnerable to heat exhaustion. So you had to time yourself, or there's any way you can let a PA know, like, hey, I can only like be here for like a little bit, and they'll even like escort you out to like the shade part so you can get some air. But that's what I'm saying, to like be careful to those that like want to go into it. So but it is a great experience. Just let you know, it gets hot, and if it's a nighttime, then either way, you know, be careful because you can't be able to see much because of the mask. That was also fun too. That was a fun puzzle to work around with.
Yeah, walking around the bushes and the trees. Yeah, I'll never forget that, man. Oh, the memories.
I know. Good times. Good times.
Good times. Yeah. Anybody that wants to do it, we're just warning you what could happen, but we're not saying don't do it because you know it's The Walking Dead.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it's gonna be good, man. Well, on The Walking Dead, man, like you mentioned, you did stunts for Avi Nash, correct?
Correct. Yeah. I did my first SAG stunt double for Avi Nash.
How was that, man?
It was amazing. It was cool. All right, no, let me tell you what I loved about it. You know, okay, so as soon as I get there, you know, you go to my trailer, this and that. They'll tell you this. They'll tell you what to do later on. They'll tell you the wardrobe. When I got to wardrobe, that's when they try to turn me into him. So they gave me the wardrobe. No, makeup. My bad.
Makeup.
So first with wardrobe, I got my shirt and pants, everything else. Then I went to makeup. Man, they put that long hair wig on me. Oh man, I lost it. I was like, I look good, and then I started like swinging it out, and then the makeup artist was having a laugh.
You were playing with it.
I was playing with it. I was like, oh, this looks good. Me, and then I was like taking poses here and there. I was like, ooh, you know.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was awesome. But that was one part of it, and then of course Avi Nash came in to do his own makeup. We made. He has, let's see, he knows 3-4 languages.
Whoa.
I believe one of them is Spanish. Because his mom, of course, is no, because he learned in Spain or like Europe. He got most of his schooling from there.
Wow.
Well, so he knows, of course, English, his own native language, Spanish.
That's awesome.
I was impressed. I was like, all right, cool. Avi Nash, how you doing, man? And he's a good, like, respectable man. He's, you know, like he doesn't do anything to like disrespect anybody. You'll go, you know, like good, you know, like he'll shake your hand real nice. How you doing? Nice to meet you. And and then, you know, like we took a picture. People loved how we looked. It was great. Now, of course, we moved into the scene. The episode I believe is out, but I still won't say too much for those who haven't seen it. So we moved into the scene. I got padded up.
Yeah.
To go. Besides that, it was a really short. Well, not too short. We were there from like morning till like evening, but it was a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
It was a fighting scene, or what type of scene was it?
Yeah, it was a struggling scene. So like he and another guy from the same.
Right.
I'm like trying to think, so I won't say too much.
I mean, you could say the action. I don't think that was spoiling.
So all right. So Avinash is looking out the window. Another guy comes in. They both talk, and then Avinash realizes who he really is, and then they both look at each other, sort of like, what are we gonna do now? And then what he does that is tackle Avinash, and that's when I come in. And then it was me and Joshua Lamboy. He stunt doubled the other actor.
Okay.
So then we both got into it. So he first like tackled me into the wall, of course, banging hard, like the wall even shook and everything. That like even the director came in like, all right, guys, not too hard. We still got props. We don't want to break, and we're like, sure. Because we're trying to take careful, and then no, but we did our best. We had a good time. So he tackled me, he pushing me down to the floor, and then we all like struggle from there. like and see. Yeah, most of it was just like a struggle here and there, moving back and forth, and then from that's all
Oh
I'll
my
say
God,
right now for those. But yeah, it was just like a small fight scene. It was a great experience. I appreciate and shout out to Joshua Lamboy, who contacted me and gave me my first chance. Gave me a
wow,
chance, and yeah,
that's awesome, man.
super thankful about that.
That's awesome, dude. That he gave you your first chance. And just to follow that up, how long do you guys practice the choreography before the actual shooting day?
Um, that was actually a week before they called me in to go to like the same set. The director came in as well to work on the angles. Um, and then let's see, we practiced it like five, 6 times. Not too much, but we at least knew what to do from there.
Okay.
So we did rehearse it like a week before, and then of course like a week later, they had the whole setup, everything done.
Oh, that's awesome. And who makes up the choreography? You guys or somebody makes it up?
No, yeah. There was a fight coordinator.
Okay.
Yeah. So he was there setting everything up, and of course, Joshua was there. Of course, he's stunt doubling him as well, and the stunt coordinator, of course, was also there to make sure everything was safe and
Okay.
everything was good to go. Because of course, shoot,
Right.
we have to keep safe out there.
That's good, man. I didn't know that. So there's a fight and a stunt coordinator, or they're the same person?
No, that it's separate because there's a stunt
Oh.
coordinator who takes care of mostly everything, and then the fight coordinator takes care of the choreography.
Oh, I had no idea. I learned something new.
See, there you go. Yeah, absolutely. There's of course, and then there's no, well, that's it. Yeah. Well, there are different types of like stunt people. Like there's stunt drivers, stunts, or water stunt coordinators as well. But yeah, usually like if there's gonna be like a big scene, there will usually be a fight coordinator who's gonna go to with second unit and deal with the fight scene, while the stunt coordinator will deal with first unit and handle the big, anything else stunt related.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you for letting me know that. I just have one quick last question for you before we finish, and it's gonna be, what advice would you give to someone that wants to, start out on stunts?
Oh, cool. I love this question. Um, so let's see. I would say, of course, train safely. And of course, do your research. If you wanna get into more stunts, go to gyms. They're usually a stunt performer in there training himself, so you could talk to him or her, and then let her know, hey, I want to get into like the stunt industry. Give me some tips here and there. There's also a book, the How to Stunt book.
Really?
Yeah, and then from there, it'll tell you pretty much anything that you need to know. Her name is Angela Meryl. I'll send you the link
Yes.
and everything for it. So like if you want to get into it, but like don't have the money to like go travel to Seattle and
Right.
which you don't have to. I mean, it's like I did that because I didn't know anybody in the movie industry. So that was my alternative. But a lot of people already have that one person or that one friend that is in the movie industry, and then from there you can make connections from there. But usually, like if you don't know anybody, I would still suggest, of course, like the book. So at least And that book will tell you all about it. It'll tell you like the main story about her, and she'll tell you what to do, where to go. And there's always Facebook groups as well. Look, like say, like for your area, look for Atlanta Stunt Group. You know,
That's smart. That's very smart.
Or Florida. You know, like stunt group. There's always a stunt group out there. That's why I say do your research. Do what you can. Do some connections. And if you're an introvert like myself, because making connections is sort of hard for me, or like already, like talking to strangers is an obstacle. But like that's what I'm saying. Like get the book. If you want, you don't have to. It's up to you. Like you can still go to gyms, check things out, do some research, but always train, of course, because we never know when the next job is gonna be. So that's why we always have to learn something new. So like if you don't know how to like flip, go to a gymnastics gym, open gym. Sometimes they'll have it for like 10, $15. You come in and say, hey, teach me the basics, and then you'll grow from there. Same thing for martial arts. If you want to learn a certain martial arts, put in the time in there. And if you don't have the money, YouTube. But the main thing is consistency. You have to do it either every day or at least like 4 times a week, or yeah.
That's true, man. Just like with any craft, consistency is key.
Also, don't get discouraged by a lot of like big guys or like telling you like, hey, you had to be a certain this, like, hey, you have to be more muscular, more skinny, you can, of course, I mean, it's their advice, but I would suggest, like, you don't have to, because you might double somebody that is exactly your height and weight. So that's why you should just, usually stay fit, of course. If you want a bigger, absolutely, you can absolutely just like stay fit, get bigger if you want, or get skinnier, whichever one of those. But also, of course, just like stay true to yourself, have confidence. That's a big one. Confidence is a big one. Because it's hard already to get out there, because some performers, we don't get auditions, we don't pretty much we don't get auditions, so it's harder on us, so we like to get the job, so that's why we have to get out there. And if you can, I would say post some you doing like some boxing drills, because stunt coordinators will look for that, like especially if you give them your name, they will look for you, they will research you, see if you're good to be in this movie. So that's why you just post it on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, like show your skills as a stunt performer. And always have that. And of course, just look up on YouTube how to be a stunt performer. There's a good video there, and he also talks about how to get into like the stunt industry, what you should do, what should not do, what to have, how to talk to the stunt coordinators. And yeah, sorry if I kept talking a little bit too much.
No, you're good, man. That's awesome advice, because we never get to hear those side of things, So that's awesome. Thank you for like letting us know all that stuff, man.
Absolutely, yeah. I want to have like the best I can, because I didn't get a lot of info when I started, because of course, because the only thing I had is, of course, like that school. So from there, I did like some even more research on it. So I want to give anybody that wants to get in it like a good foot forward on, like, if you want to pursue stunt performing.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, pass the knowledge. That's for sure, man. Dude, it has been great having you on. You have no idea. I mean, I've enjoyed this interview.
Awesome. Same here, man. I appreciate your time listening to me talk and the whole thing. It was great. Thank you for having me.
No problem, man. It was some awesome stories, and thank you guys for tuning in on Being Extra. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and Apple Podcasts and also Spotify. Goodbye, guys.